So, our culture always wants to improve our lives, make them more comfortable. We avoid conflict at every chance we get. We're so sheltered from dealing with the harder and more complex experiences as humans. And today we want to lean into something that will affect us all and look at how grief impacts us as people. So for this episode's guest, we have Ntiamoah. He is a singer, he is a dance teacher and an absolute unit. And I want to look today at your experience of grief. As a few years ago, you lost your brother Kofi.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the impact that that loss has had on you. But first, I want to start by honouring your brother's memory and get you to paint just a quick picture of what he was like. What were his best qualities, the things you loved about him? Who was Kofi?
Kofi. My brother was a really big personality, charismatic. He was fun, confident. He was center of attention, but he had a very kind heart towards his friends, patience with them. He would, after he passed, I had so many messages about how loving he was, supportive he was, that he would always listen. You know, one of the things that he was good at was listening and being there for people. So, yeah. So he had a lot of really great qualities. He loved dancing. He loved music. Like he had another side, like we all do. Do you know what I mean? Stubborn at times. Thinks he knows best.
Don't we all?
Yeah. He was a one to listen at times. And and he made mistakes, like who doesn't, you know? So that gives a nice picture of my brother.
Come on. You know? Honestly, it sounds like we're an incredible loss for not having him, honestly. This was definitely missing a part. He sounds like an incredible person. So thank you for sharing all those memories with us. I want to ask, what was it like to lose such a bright light in your life? What was the expense of dealing with the grief?
Do you know what? It was like my reality broke, you know? It was like 1 minute, it's like a scene, it's like being in a movie.
Yeah.
And your movie's going one way, everything's going really well, and then it's like the twist happens, you know, and everything changes and it's unexpected. And I was hit with something I never expected to happen, you know, because with my brother, I was always thinking he's always going to be around. If anything, I'm the older one. I'm going to go before him, you know? So when you lose your younger brother, it's like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? So, my whole world changed. It was like a scene in a movie where it just completely flipped and the main character just has no idea what to do now. You know?
So in amongst all that, how did you end up dealing with that kind of grief?
From the moment I got the news, I'm so lucky that I had my faith, because I remember being on the phone and I was talking to a friend of mine and my friend kept popping off. So his baby mother was trying to message me on Messenger on Facebook. And I messaged her back when I was on the phone, said, look, I'm on the phone right now, I'll call you afterwards.
Yeah.
And I stayed on the phone for about 20 minutes and I thought, okay, let me call her back, find out what's going on. And as soon as I put the phone on, she called me and she told me the news. And I remember that moment, I kind of like just the shock and I dropped to my knees. But straight away, even though I was in my house by myself, I knew that God was with me, because I remember I was talking to him, I was praying to him, I was crying to him. I was like, you know, every emotion possible in that time all comes out. You got sadness, you have this whole kind of you don't understand, and I just remember being on the floor in tears. I'm like, God, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? But I realize now when I look back is that the first thing I did was to turn to him, you know, and he was with me. And I remember like
it's interesting,
him giving me like a level of some kind of comfort or strength, because I had to call my friends and tell them what happened until people could come to me. I knew I needed people around me, and God was with me until, throughout the whole thing, but he was with me, sustaining me until I could get my friends to me, you know? And I remember that. And it was just the whole process of dealing with grief is knowing that I've had a relationship with God, and He's kind of been He has been guiding me through everything, you know.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's good. So I want to dig more into that faith element soon. That's really interesting. But what I want to pick apart specifically is that when I look at our culture in this day and age, I'm often asking myself, are men even allowed to show emotion in this kind of situation? So I've got a few quotes that I just want to read out just to get your, reaction, your thought about it. So the first one was from Queen Elizabeth II, which is, grief is the price you pay for love. Just briefly, what do you think about that one quote?
I think that's 100% correct. The more you love someone, the more you're going to hurt when they leave you, you know. In any sense of the word, like, relationship ends because you love them, you feel a level of grief. So extreme grief is obviously when you lose someone who's next of kin, you know, someone you've grown up with, someone who's been a major part of your life. When you lose them, that's the next level of pain you're introduced to. So, and that's because you it's that unconditional love that you have for them, that you have for your family.
Okay, yeah.
So I definitely agree with that statement.
Cool. I want to read another one out from Denzel Washington. He had a speech, and in his speech, he was talking about losing his father. And he said to run not from pain, but with it, and let it fuel you and not rule you. And he also said the pain of loss can be used as fuel, not to rule your life, but to find meaning and strength. Now, I don't know about you, but there's this big stereotype that I see and I find, especially amongst a big unit of a black man like yourself, that, you got to be like Superman, you got to run with the punches, deal with what comes your way, and keep a stone face and keep cracking on. I just want to ask where you fall with that kind of stuff.
I think, yeah, I mean, I've always been the type of person who's respected strength.
I can very much see that. Come on.
195 bench press daily.
Come on.
What? I've always respected strength, but as I've grown up, I've looked into what does it really mean to be strong.
Wow. Okay.
And while dealing with grief, you really get tested on that. I remember me going through both sides of it. There's times when you have to man up, crack on, because things need to be done.
Got you.
But also, we've been given emotions for a reason.
Interesting.
You know? And as men, society will say, oh, we're not meant to cry, we're not meant to... We have those emotions. So why do we have those emotions? Why do we have the ability to cry? Because we're meant to use it at certain times. So I'll give you an example. My brother died on Friday. The next day, I sing in a band, we're a 90s cover band, right? And we're meant to be doing a wedding, right? And obviously, I can't go and do this wedding. I can't go sing and perform. But I've just lost my brother. But I knew they wouldn't be able to get anybody else to cover me. So in that time, I said to myself, let me just go and do this wedding. Now, you have to think our weddings are polar opposite. It's like somebody's happiest day. It's a celebration. So I've turned up to this gig and I've just switched on into, let's get this done, you know?
Oh, interesting.
I've gone on stage, I'm performing, throw your hands up, getting people to sing. They even took photos. And in the photos, I just look happy, I'm smiling, I'm having a great time. What people don't know is that when I came off stage, I went and found a corner and I cried, you know? I found a corner on my own and I cried. I had to let it out because it was in me, I couldn't help it. And then when it was time to go back on stage, I wiped my tears, went back on stage and did what I had to do. So there's moments all throughout the grief where there's times when you do sticking to that stereotype of being strong.
Okay.
It helps because it helps you to get through the process of grief. Do you know what I mean? It helps you to get through the day sometimes.
Okay.
Being active, having your mind focus on other things other than what you've lost.
But distraction.
Yeah, but there's also times when you need to just cry and let it out, you know? And as a man, it's knowing where you can do that, who you can do that in front of, you know? Like safe spaces. So for me, I knew when I'm at home by myself, if I'm going to cry, just let it out, you know? Okay. And I always felt better afterwards. I've seen a great problem with men who hold things in. You know, I've got a really good friend who has lost a number of people in his life, and he never cried. And it was only this year that he said he finally cried, and everything came out. He said he cried for a couple of days, but he's felt so much better since.
Wow.
You know?
Interesting.
So I think there's definitely a balance in both sides of it. There's times when we do need to be strong and man up and get things done, but there's also times when we need to express how we feel so we don't just hold it inside, because it's always going to find a way to manifest itself in your behavior and how you act, and it can cause deeper issues within people. So
it's interesting stuff. Okay, so we spoke about this briefly before, but I want to ask, what part has faith played in your journey? Has God spoken to you in process? Where did you find him disappear on you, or did he stick around during this grief?
yeah, throughout the whole process of grief, God was with me, and he did a number of things. One, when I woke up and I was in so much emotional pain that I got down on my knees and I prayed, because I was about to go to work.
Okay.
A cab was waiting for me, and I just said, God, please, take this pain away from me, because I was getting headaches, and I felt horrible, and I had to go be a dance coach, you know, teaching all day.
It's tough.
And I remember I got through the day, and I remember the next day when I woke up almost feeling like I was floating, like the pain, that pain, level of pain was gone. And I just felt this level of comfort. So it was a very supernatural moment for me, because I knew straight away when I woke up that God had done something, you know?
Okay.
And I'm still hurting inside, but I didn't have that horrible pain I was having. That it was like a really extreme, almost like my emotions turned into like chemicals in my body which were making me feel sick and stressed and whatnot. He felt like he took that side of it away, you know.
Wow.
So that's that. And then you go through the sadness of grief, then you go through the anger of grief. So it's like a journey of emotions you go through. And I remember I felt like Job in the Bible, right?
Okay.
So Job goes through immense suffering, and in his suffering, he begins to question God, doesn't he? Like, question God's justice. He begins to question, he sees himself as a good guy. He doesn't know why this is happening to him. And I think we all feel like that. I was in the well, why is this happening to me? Haven't I been a good guy? Like, why are you allowing this to happen?
Interesting, yeah.
And then God appears, like, right, who's this guy trying to question me? Like, are you right, brother?
You think you're talking to?
Who are you talking to, bro? God appears, goes, right, I'll answer your question while you're going through stuff, and if you can answer mine. And then God just literally reads off his CV, literally, where were you when I was building the foundations of the world? I'm the one who sends the lightning where to go. I've walked on the lakes on the bottom of the sea. All this epic stuff, or some of the stuff God's done, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, right, Job, answer it. And Job was like, bro, I can't really answer that, my boy. I've got nothing for you, my boy.
Oh my days.
It's too much. It's beyond his understanding.
Yeah.
And when I used to look at that, I used to think, what kind of answer is that, God? Like, what are you trying to say here? And he wasn't trying to belittle Job. He was just trying to show him that there are things which are happening which are outside our understanding. And we only get to see a little bit of it from our point of view. But God sees all things. He knows what's happening in our DNA, the bottom of the sea to the far out places of space. He knows all things. And he says, just trust in him. And in that time, when I was going through the anger stage, God kept saying to me, look around you, look around you. And I didn't know what it meant.
Okay.
Until I went to one therapy session, and the guy said, grief is all the love you want to give to that person, but you can't.
Wow.
So it tries to find somewhere to go, and it's got nowhere to go. So he said, when he lost his parents, all the love he wanted to give to them, he gave to his children. So then I said, oh, my brother's children are still here. So I can direct my love I want to give to him to them. Oh, my mum's still here. Oh, my other siblings are still here.
Wow.
And then my brain opened up to all the blessings and things that I still have in my life. And then I understood what God was saying. Look around you, look around you. I still have so much. Because what grief does, it directs you to the thing that you've lost. And if you keep going down that path, you just end up in this really depressive state. But actually, what God was reminding me of was how sacred and important life is. And it made me look at the relationships of people that I have now and made me more loving towards them, you know? So God was dropping his wisdom on me. He was teaching me. He was giving me comfort.
Crazy.
He was on it.
This is mental.
Guy was on it, man.
I don't deserve the middle name. What the heck? That's mental. That's crazy. That's honestly really interesting stuff there. Really eye-opening. So I feel like you just painted the most perfect picture of what grief is. It's not just one straight line, you know, all simple, but it's so much more complex than that. There's so much going on. It's like doing a video game and having all the side quests come in at the same time as your first level. You got all this going on, right? It's a million and one things to deal with. You got to be strong in moments, then you got to allow the grief to come in others. You had faith, then maybe you struggled and had doubts in some area. And I think it makes all this seem so crazy, but it's so normal. This is what grief is. So I want to ask you, with someone out there right now watching this who may be thinking they were the only person dealing with this wacko kind of sensation, thinking, I'm losing my mind, what is some practical advice you could give them to help them through this kind of...
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go through a whole heap of different emotions throughout the whole experience. It's going to change day to day. And the different things that I did to practically help me in those situations was, number one was pray. Whenever I was feeling extreme levels of sadness or whatnot, I prayed. I gave it to God. I put worship music on. I just let it play. And when the worship, I just started worshiping God. That's what I was doing.
Interesting.
And in that worshiping God, it was releasing the sadness. I would cry. I would feel over emotional.
Okay.
I was doing that. And being in your word, I'm telling you, bro, there was times when...
It's like reading the Bible.
Yeah, like I was getting some dark thoughts in my head. Like I don't want to be here, which is not my mindset.
Interesting.
You know? But what happened is, because I've spent years being in and out of my Bible, reading the word, the words of God, which are in there, were battling those dark thoughts.
Wow.
So as I was getting those negative
Deep.
feelings or whatnot, God was reminding me that he loves me and he died for me. And God, nobody understands suffering more than God himself. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because I see it from two aspects. Number one, like we're his children, right? And he sees all our suffering. He knows everything we're going through.
Okay.
And number two, he came down, died on the cross for us. So he experienced suffering on emotional, spiritual, and physical level. So nobody understands suffering or your suffering. So that's why when you turn to him, he knows exactly what he needs to do for you. So being in the word, pray, listen to worship music. But I also think there's other things that we can do as well. Like as I said to you earlier before, I did some therapy. You know, that therapy session triggered something which happened.
Interesting.
I stayed active, you know, like life doesn't stop. So you got to keep moving and being around good people, you know, be around the people who truly love you and you truly love, so you truly love them, because you need to be around love. You know, you've lost someone that you love, so you need to be around love, you know.
Oh, interesting.
So I would definitely say that there are other aspects which are like outside of like being a Christian. Do you know what I mean?
Got you.
Practical uses, as well as praying and worship music and just reading your word, you know?
Nana, thank you so much for your vulnerability in these conversations. I feel there's some real gold here that's really going to help a lot of people. So I just want to finally thank you one last time for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Come on, man.
Appreciate it.